What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Yes, it's a triple upload day today. I got something I want to talk to you guys and get it off my chest. Obviously, today wasn't a very fun day to be a content creator, and I'm sure it wasn't a very fun day to be Plarium either. Just going to speak a little bit more candidly to you guys in this video here. So, as some of you guys may know, I'm from North America. So usually I wake up around 4 a.m. in the morning to, cover the content for Raid, get a head start on events, basically bring you guys the news whenever it's available. Now, this is my choice, of course. And for the most part, it kind of works out. Plarium works off of UTC time, which is in, I believe, Ukraine. It kind of works out. I wake up super early, I go to work early, and, I cover Raid and stuff, and I cover my accounts and all that stuff early before I go to work. And it totally works out for the most part. Now, today it was a totally kind of upside down day. As you guys may have known with some of the videos from our content creators, including myself. Both my videos that I made first thing in the morning before I went to work was, had some inaccuracies in them, mainly because the information about a certain event was not disclosed right away. And that led to a little bit of confusion and frustration for everybody. And it made, the videos a little bit obsolete, but the bulk of the videos with the information is still correct. Now, obviously, with this game, information and preparation is a huge tool and can give us an edge in this game, especially when planning to use our resources for specific events. That's why it's so important for me to cover the news and cover what my strategies are right away, so you guys have all the information right away, so you guys can make informed decisions on how you guys want to play certain events. For example, like a fusion. Now, I understand mistakes happen, and these things have been happening, rather frequently. Not only that news announcements get kind of, misjumbled with like inaccuracies and like missing details and incomplete information. Sometimes entire videos on test servers are rendered completely obsolete because, things are not working as intended, and then we can't show them in their unintended way. Now, I've also made videos where they've basically said you can't post this because it just doesn't it's just not accurate anymore, and this is totally outdated information. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's a little bit of waste of time, especially when we're given like this level of incomplete details on what we're working with. So as a content creator, I want to say that generally speaking, we try our best to convey information, complete information, accurate information in a quick and decisive manner. Now, that didn't happen today, so I apologize for that on my part. And the other things that content creators do is that they freely share information and opinions and insights into champions, mechanics, strategies, and of course, hot topics. And that also did not happen today. So what am I getting at in this video? What can I actually share with you that's concrete? What can you take away from this video? What am I actually talking about? So the first things first I want to talk to you guys about is what I can share for you, what is confirmed. So the upcoming Heroes Path in next week's Heroes Path, for this fusion calendar, it says shards and get artifacts, and there's a big Heroes Path here. It is confirmed to not be Leonardo's Heroes Path, as some have speculated. Now, Plarium did outright say to us it is confirmed. It's been confirmed on several different social media sites from Plarium representatives that it is not Leonardo's path. Now, before we say that's a bad thing and all that, honestly, it's a good thing. It gives us more time to save for Leonardo if that is your end goal. And it probably reduces the stake of participating in the Heroes Path. So for example, if you're not planning to go on the fusion for Maria, this is something that you might just consider fully skipping if you don't really care about it. But in the case, if Leonardo was part of this Heroes Path, you might be forced to participate in this Heroes Path, which otherwise you probably would have passed on. So technically, it's not necessarily a completely bad thing that Leonardo's not in this path. So we gotta view it as a bright side thing. So that's 100% confirmed. Don't worry about that. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you guys about is something that I can't actually talk to you guys about, but I did remember a situation that kind of reminds me of our current situation, and I wanted to bring that up with you guys today so that you guys can take that away, think about that a little bit, analyze that a little bit, and then make your own decisions. And the situation I want to bring your attention to in this video is regarding this champion here. Fortis. If you guys don't know what Fortis is a champion. He's a damage dealer based around fear. Now, if you check out his kit here, there's a lot of fear stuff. There's a lot of ignore defense, and his damage will scale off of fear. Some of you guys might not have been around that long, but this champion has a little bit of a story around it, and I wanted to highlight that in this video for you guys to chew on. All right, so why am I talking about Fortis and why this is important? So I want to talk to you guys about what happened with Fortis. So back in 2022, back in October, they announced that Fortis's A3 was not working as intended. They said his A3 was not hitting hard enough and that he would be rebalanced in the next big upcoming patch. Now, that's all great and dandy. Sometimes they do announce changes to champions in advance, which is great. Now, the big thing here with Fortis is that almost immediately after they made that announcement, they offered him up as an 80 Void Shard guarantee. Now everyone's thinking, wow, it's a Void Shard guarantee. We haven't had that in a long time. 80 Void Shards for this champion. And at that time, it was basically the lowest void amount that you could pay for a void champion. We did have, regular, somewhat regular guaranteed champions. So, this was not totally unexpected. We did have guaranteed void champions before. He was not the first. So it's interesting because they announced this change that they said would happen in the future patches. And then they offered this champion basically for sale for 80 void shards. Now, before all this, Fortis is basically a meme. He's a total trash can champion. He's a total vault champion, right? But now he's offered 80 guaranteed void shard champion. And I can tell you guys that there was a lot of people that went for this champion, which they otherwise would never go for this champion. But because they announced that his kit was going to get changed, they basically gambled 80 void shards on a champion that they thought might be deemed relevant pending a fix. The fix wasn't happening yet. The fix never happened yet. And they don't know what the fix is, right? They know that the A3 might get changed, and they said the damage multipliers was not working as intended. So they expect the damage multipliers to be changed. Now, a lot of people went for him, actually. A lot of people went for him. And after they did do the change to him, he was still a trash can champion. So basically, Plarium pumped this champion, and then they buffed him, but he just never lived up to expectations that people wanted. Now, maybe I'm exaggerating with how good or how bad he is, but Plarium did buff him and rebalance him again in 2024. That's how unsatisfactory the first rebalance was. So they rebalanced him shortly after in October of 2022, and he was still not satisfactory. They had to rebalance him again in 2024. So yes, he's still bad to this day. And this is a lesson. This is a lesson for everybody to basically be extra careful spending resources on something that you do not know of. Some unknown quantity. There are unknowns in this game. Like any champion can be rebalanced, yes. But if you do not know of what's happening, but you expect something to happen, then this is a form of gambling. So now we're gambling with our hard-earned resources, in some cases hard-earned money as well. So if there is a, champion or an event that requires you to kind of guess on what's going to happen, it's probably best to err on the side of caution and not gamble. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to bring this up as a story of caution with the, our old story of this Halloween season champion Fortis here, which happened, 3 years ago. But I just thought it was an interesting situation that happened before. And, it's an interesting situation to bring up now today to highlight our current situation. So the moral of the story is ultimately we want to wait for all information before making any kind of educated decisions. Otherwise, we are just gambling. And in this game, if you're gambling, the house always wins. So once again, guys, this is a message for you guys, just so you guys are aware. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Hopefully the day was better than obviously the content creators. Go easy on everybody. I think it's a little bit of a, little bit of chaos here going on, but let's show everybody a little bit of love. And we're all looking out for everybody's best interest. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. Hopefully you guys can take away something from this. Appreciate you guys watching until the end. Best of luck on the ongoing Maria Fusion, and we'll talk soon. See you guys in the next one.